Alright, so this is the vlog from yesterday, which was Thursday, August 7th. We took a rest day, didn't do any physical activity, or like strenuous physical activity. We did go to the gym though, to take Munchkin to class. Couple things. So yesterday was the first time that I actually saw Munchkin get like knocked over, right? She banged her head real good, right? The young lady lifted her leg up, and you could tell she's been training for a little bit longer, obviously, than Munchkin. This is Munchkin's first week. And so she did what she was supposed to do, right? Munchkin, being that it is her first week, she didn't fall to her butt, she didn't tuck her chin, so she hit her head. I wanted to talk about what that felt like because, like, as a parent, I'm not gonna lie, it was a wonderful moment, but it was also a very terrible moment as well. As a parent, especially somebody who comes from the type of background that I come from, I can't stand seeing her get hurt. I can't stand seeing her cry, or not like I'm gonna baby or pacify her, because there's a fine line between you crying because you're legitimately hurt and emotional manipulation, right? But it was seeing her bang her head like that that just man, it's the whole reason we have her in jujitsu, for sure, because you got to know how to protect yourself. And I know my Munchkin is so sweet. She she got a mouth on her, but she's very sensitive, right? Not like, I'm gonna cry because you said something mean. She don't really give two shakes of a shit what people say at all. And I've noticed that, and I love that about her. But she also is very, don't put your hands on me, I won't put my hands on you, and we'll be good. She's in jujitsu for the fact that there are those instances that exist in real life where she will be tested and people will try to put their hands on her. Even last school year, she had experienced it where certain kids was doing shit just because they knew they could, And she's very good for calling you out on it. She's very good for, like, telling the authorities. But in certain cases, I know you're just gonna have to handle that shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it gets to that point. And her being able to defend herself, her being able to take care of herself in that situation enough to get away. I'm not trying to make a bully of my child, but I do want you to be able to defend and protect yourself. Seeing two things. Seeing that happen, it just tugged at little, inner kid me, getting into mental health territory. It tugged at little kid me in two different ways. One, it was like, initially, it was like seeing one of my younger siblings get into some shit. My training was very much so, and I say training instead of upbringing because that's what it was. I mean, that's what it felt like, It was very, you got to protect your siblings. I got into a lot of shit as a kid over my siblings, right? That second wave of emotions, that emotion made me sit up straight. That second wave of emotions was almost as if I were the one who banged my head. And it hurt my heart because it's like, again, you see this thing happening, because that happened to me a lot as a kid as well, where people would see things happening to me, whether it was getting bullied, whether it was my mom's ex-husband, and I'm having to live through it. You're sitting there watching it happen and nobody's doing anything. You know what I'm saying? There is no lifeline where there should be. The people who should have protected didn't, They felt like they couldn't. But later you realize there are choices and you chose not to. You know what I'm saying? And so that feeling, that made me grab my kneecaps because I almost stood up. And then the mom in me, rings forward and is like, nah, sit still. Sit still. If this shit were to happen out in the wild, you're not going to be able to hop up and separate them. You're not going to be able to hop up and help her. Sit still and see what she does. She held her head. She stood up. Ashley and Tanner were right there. They went to see what happened. Gave her a minute. She came. They asked her, did she want to come get some water? She did. Gave her a hug. She shed a tear. And she turned back around. I asked her, was she going to go back? She says, yes. I said, okay. She goes back on the mat. They ask her, does she want to roll again? She does. And this time she's with a young man. And there's this sense of pride, because I know situations where there are some kids in general, that would have been like, nah, I'm fucking done for the day. I got my shit rocked. I'm done, And she was like, no, I want to get back out there. That moment sucked, but I want to get back out there. I want to keep doing this. And it was a beautiful moment. I was so proud of her, I had to definitely sit back, and that's part of why I didn't do the vlog yesterday, because I needed to really check myself. That moment, I'm not gonna lie, as a person, not even just a mom, not even just her mom, as a person, that moment really struck up something in me. So, Tanner asked me after the class, I guess I thought I was sitting there normal, regular. I thought I was, cool, calm, collected, but apparently you could see what I was feeling on my face. He was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. And I tried to just, shake it off and make it, like I was cool, because I thought I was. But as soon as he asked me that, it was like my insides, like I wanted to cry. That shit was terrible. There are moments where you see something, so you should say something. You should do something where you have the ability to help and act. And you should. But then there are moments like these where, as a parent, as a person, you'd be doing her a disservice. You'd be doing her a disservice by defending her. And I tell Munchkin all the time, like, there are some things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to learn how to do it yourself. And protecting herself is one of those things. It's one of those, for both me and her, it's good for you. It's not good to you, right? So there was that. And I'm just I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop going myself. I'm not going to stop her from going. But that was intense, mentally and emotionally, to work through, to cool down from. It's a lot to deal with, But she did great. I could not be more proud. I couldn't be more her willingness to get back out there and keep going, to keep learning. And when she got back out there for her second roll, she put her little hands up and she frowned up her little eyebrows. She put her game face on. She was like, that shit's not happening again. And I love that for her, I do. So I mentioned before in vlogs that this is part of the reason why this page is not just a diary for the physical advancement, the physical journey. It's going to be mental and emotional for me as well. And not every day will feel like a fucking win. Some days there are hard pills to swallow. There are difficult lessons to learn, but I understand where, like I said just a minute ago, everything happens for you and not to you. You know, that mentality is what allows me the space to be able to be like, nah, I'm gonna keep doing this shit. Can't just quit because it's hard. This is one of those, I'm going to give you the win of being able to feel and know and see that you can do hard things well, period. Not just getting in and out of fucking human pretzels, but dealing with the mental and emotional shit that comes up, right? Fast forward through her class, we sat and watched the rest of our class. They rolled, and watching people roll versus being in the role is interesting, because being on the outside, you can see everything. Being on the inside, you have to react, right? You gotta get in here. You're feeling what's going on. You're trying to not get tangled the fuck up, and it's a matter of just kind of doing, kind of assessing and doing. But being on the outside, you can see everything, everything. I was not wrong in feeling like Weston's got long ass legs. He does, and he like to use them motherfuckers, his long ass legs, to pin you up, snatch you up. He also likes to if you don't have any control over your hips, you've pretty much got yourself fucked up. And he like to take them hips, period. Ashley uses her hips to her advantage. Her strength is in her hips. She like to keep you off balance just a little bit, so she can roll your ass, flip your ass, and roll your ass around. Ruth, she's not just taking advantage of us not knowing what the fuck we doing. She really does dominate on top, right? If she can get on top of you, you are fucked, right? Tanner seemed to be taking it easy a little bit because he's hurt. And even still, he prefers seemingly being on bottom. It's almost as if he's on bottom, it's easier for him to work his way around your human body. It's interesting to watch, right? Watched a couple different roles with a couple of other people. There was one role, and I think this man's name is Cameron, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. He was in red and black yesterday. I think his name is Cameron. But he's strong as shit. Okay. And if he can get you in a headlock, you're fucked. Period. If he can get his arms around your neck, you're done. And it was interesting watching him too, because he's not afraid to throw his body weight, whether it's throwing it and rolling y'all collectively, or it's throwing it to get to the opposite side of you so he can grab your neck up. He's not afraid to throw his body weight. So I don't know, watching the different techniques, watching the different people do the different things, you learn a lot. You learn a lot more watching than you do. It's almost like talking versus listening. You learn a lot more listening than you do talking. So, we've got one more workout to do today. We did a workout earlier. We've got one more workout to do today so we can catch ourselves back up with where we're supposed to be. I'm about to get up. We're going to do that. And then we've got a private with Ashley tomorrow. Tomorrow is fucking packed. But it's like, I think Thursday is important to just not do anything. So you can catch up with your adult activities, your fucking chores and shit, because there is no day off. That's a no at this point. There are no days off. So, readjusting the schedule, especially with knowing that School's about to start back up is a thing. Therapy, you know, for your personal mind is a thing. Can't just rely on throwing motherfuckers around to help, help you sort through the mental and emotional shit that you got going on in your back pocket. But, this was the vlog for Thursday, which was, like I said, August 7th. And I still feel good about it. It's a lot to deal with, but that's why you take a day. You take a day, you reset, you cool off, you go back another day. So I will be back here tomorrow to chat about what I learned in class tomorrow. I will also log what I ate last night, and I guess I could log what I ate today, just so that I can keep track of what I've been doing, what I've been eating and all that stuff. But that's all for now. Thanks for coming to my little TED Talk and listening to me yap for almost 20 fucking minutes. Until next time, have a great day.